Terror on Every Side. The Life of Jeremiah. Volume 4. The Darkness Deepens. Written by Mark Morgan. Read by Chris Morgan. Chapter 1. Besieged. December 598 BC, the first year of King Jeconiah. The biting cold and the need to remain unseen both kept me huddled behind a small tree. The lashing rain made me reflect wistfully on comfortable evenings spent around a warm fire. Not far from me, a sizzling watchfire flickered and sputtered as the gusts of wind and rain threatened to completely overwhelm the timid flames. Ample fuel lay within reach of the blaze, but the drenching rain was winning. Reluctant guards tended the fire, paying little attention to any possible threat of danger. After all, who would be out on a night like this? It was late on a winter's night, and I was hiding near the top of the pass between the Mount of Olives and Ha-Hatzophim, the Mount of Watchmen, though little could be seen of any watchman that night. A multitude of lights marked the locations of Chaldean campfires around Jerusalem, but the lights often glimmered feebly or vanished completely behind the wind-blown rain that periodically reduced visibility to almost nothing. Nebuchadnezzar's army surrounded Jerusalem, preventing any from coming or going, patiently and methodically strangling the life from a beleaguered city in which supplies, once used, could not be replaced. On this particular winter's night, however, Nebuchadnezzar's soldiers were concentrating on themselves. For all they cared, an entire army could come or go as it pleased, as long as they did not have to expose themselves to the ferocious wind and periodic sleet. A winter storm was spending its fury on the city and its encircling enemies, and none would be so foolish as to brave the elements. None, I thought, except for me. As I had travelled cautiously south from the Euphrates River, news had reached me about the Chaldean army's siege of Jerusalem. Rumours suggested that King Jehoiakim had been captured or injured, but no one could confirm their truth. God had given me a message for the king and his mother. At the time I did not understand why the message would be for Jehoiakim's mother, as she was not in favour with her wayward son. However, God's word must be delivered, so here I was, hidden high on an exposed hill, seeking a way to enter a city under siege. If I was to succeed, this was just the weather I needed. It was time to change the guards, and the fortunate guards, whose watch was over, retired into the relative comfort of their flapping tent. No doubt they would do their best to get warm, clapping and stamping, trying to restore feelings to their numbed fingers and toes. One unlucky guard remained outside on watch, single-handedly protecting this extremity of an army camped uncomfortably far from their homes. Gingerly I crept out from behind the tree, crouching low as I sneaked past the fire with its sole guard and continued the risky task of making my way towards the walls of Jerusalem. As I went and the weather continued to worsen, it became increasingly clear that the risk was not great. Very few people were moving along the road that led towards the Benjamin Gate. On an ordinary night, I'm sure that the guards stationed near the fires beside the track would have been accosting any traveller who dared to pass. But on this night, the guards remained huddled near fires that struggled even to stay alight, and any foolhardy soul who trod the road did so unquestioned. One or two hardy travellers passed me in the windy darkness, their cloaks wrapped tightly around them to hide even their faces from any passing inspection. Could it be that they too did not want to be known? It occurred to me that I might not be the only one seeking entry to or egress from the city under the cover of a wild and frigid darkness. The thought filled me with hope. I hurried towards the gate with one last campfire to pass, a larger blaze several hundred metres from the wall. More guards were huddled around it too. As I approached, though, a particularly strong flurry of sleet and icy rain blew across the road, causing the guards to huddle even more closely behind their shields, their hooded cloaks wrapped tightly around them. I slipped past.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?